And to close out our show, we bring you news of a pro-life woman's plight. She's gone so far as to ask the highest court in the land to weigh in on her case. Debra Vitagliano is based in Westchester County, New York. She serves as an occupational therapist for kids with special needs. Some time ago, she felt the tug to get involved in the pro-life movement, but her important work peacefully protesting, praying, and speaking with women outside of abortion clinics was cut short. This due to a law that has established a buffer zone around abortion clinics where pro-lifers aren't allowed in. Debra Vitagliano joins us now to explain more. Debra, when you began Sidewalk counseling, your ministry was unfortunately blocked for a year. You had to stop working outside of abortion clinics. Talk to me about how that came about and what your reaction to it was.
Well, after the Supreme Court had overturned Roe versus Wade, that was in June 2022. After that, the county that I live in came up with this law, and we were not allowed to. I used to do prayer vigils outside of an abortion clinic with other people, and we were not allowed to even approach women within a certain number of feet. There was a buffer zone. So that came about in the law just a few days after the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade.
Wow.
So, it was a very, very difficult time. I had trained to become a consultant in pregnancy care centers and a sidewalk counselor. And so, and that training took a long time. So I was disappointed not to be able to help the women.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to mention, you're a devout Catholic. You believe in the sanctity of life, and you felt a distinct call to step into this ministry at that important moment in our movement's history. So talk to me a little bit more about how that made you feel and what you kind of did next.
Well, it really made me disappointed. I wasn't able to go for actually 1 year to go and speak with the women and also to pray at prayer vigils, because there were different laws. And if you had passed this, if you had broken this particular law that we're talking about, you could be put in jail and you could be fined a great deal of money. So, it was very disappointing for me. So I had to really just really do prayer vigils at home for these women and for the unborn.
And talk to me about the action you're taking now, Debra. Your lawyers have petitioned the U.S. Supreme Court to weigh in on what happened to you. What's your hope?
Well, my hope is really that the Supreme Court will take this case. It's important for myself as well as other sidewalk counselors to be able to really help these women. These women are vulnerable at a point in their life where they've had an unexpected pregnancy, and they need to be approached in a very loving, compassionate way, and for them to really know, what their options are, that they have other options besides abortion. And, my hope is the Supreme Court will take it, because who's to say that the state or the local level will not put a law into effect again like this?
Right.
So it really needs to be clear throughout our country of, there is peaceful freedom of speech on sidewalks for women who are in a very vulnerable situation in a certain time of their life.
Yeah, thank you for explaining that. Debra, before I let you go, what might your message be to other pro-life Americans out there who could be facing similar obstacles when it comes to reaching abortion-minded women? They really just want to help these women and these children.
My message really is to don't give up, to keep praying. Praying is very important. But the biggest message is that these women need help. They need to know what their options are. We need to approach them in a very loving, non-judgmental, and compassionate way. They're very fragile. They're at a point in their life where they don't know where to turn. And we have the ability to give them options in their life, that they don't just have to end life, but they can do other things. They can either bring their child to full term and raise them. There are open and closed adoptions, and there are many couples who want to adopt, so there are other options, and we've had success. in terms of women being open to this. And there are many, many organizations out there that help support them if they choose to take their baby to full term.
Amen. Well, Debra, I'm so grateful for all the work that you are doing to save children. You certainly give me a lot of hope for our movement. Debra Vitagliano, thanks for joining us. We're praying for you.
Thank you so much. We can use it.